Welcome to CSBJ Radio. CSBJ Radio is the premier online business talk radio show in the Southeast. CSBJ proactively connects, informs, and engages its listeners in all aspects of small business. Discover the entrepreneur in you with CSBJ Radio. Now, here's your host, Greg Wilson.
Hello, good afternoon. Welcome to another edition of CSBJ Radio. I am your host, Greg Wilson, the owner and publisher of Connection Small Business Journal. And I'm sure most of you that listen to this podcast know by now our website address. Our website address is www.connectionssbj.com. Again, that is www.connectionssbj.com. We utilize and put to great use every aspect of social media, from Facebook to Pinterest. Our Facebook page specifically is facebook.com/connectionssbj. Today is Monday, November the 23rd. We are a few days away from the Thanksgiving holiday, the actual holiday, Thursday of this week, and Black Friday on Friday, of course, and Saturday, Small Business Saturday. And I've done previous podcasts about just how important Small Business Saturday is, and I want to encourage you, if you are listening to this podcast and maybe you are not a small business owner, I encourage you on Saturday to spend, if you're going to be out shopping, to spend some of those dollars in a small business in an effort and an attempt to support the small business community wherever you are. I know we have listeners here in Birmingham. We have listeners, of course, where we started this program in Columbus, Georgia. We have listeners all the way out on the West Coast. So wherever you are when you're listening to this message, I encourage you this Saturday to do your part and support a small business wherever you happen to live. Tomorrow being Tuesday, November the 24th, we will be at Iron Bank Coffee in Columbus, Georgia for CSBJ Power Hour. CSBJ Power Hour, this event started quite a few years ago. It was an attempt for me as a small business owner to do my part in informing the small business community, or teaching the small business community on the things that we needed to do on a daily basis, a weekly basis, a monthly basis, yearly basis to stay in business. All right. And as I often say, for those that follow me, I often say that it's one thing to open up your doors to start a business, but it's something totally different to try to sustain that business, week in, week out, month in, month out, year in, year out. All right. And what it takes to sustain your business is what we literally talk about at CSBJ Power Hour. So if you're in Columbus, Georgia, we will be there on tomorrow. We're going to be meeting at Iron Bank Coffee at 11 o'clock a.m. We have the room reserved from 11 until 1 o'clock, but I try to keep the meeting itself to a 1 hour minimum, meaning that, I want to retain your attention and I want to leave you with information. All right. Information and resources. So tomorrow, 11 o'clock a.m., join myself, Daphne Bonds, Priscilla Seeger, Michael Sterling, Raven. I mean, we have a lot of business owners. Anita Newsom. Matter of fact, she just launched a business there in Columbus, Georgia. And all of us will be at Iron Bank Coffee on tomorrow at 11 a.m. to discuss, what it takes to sustain our business. And tomorrow specifically, I'll be covering some of what I'm going to talk about today in this particular podcast. This particular podcast is centered around utilizing social media to grow your business. And we know just how important social media is. I don't have necessarily all the time today to go through every possible facet of how to utilize social media to grow your business. But specifically for this podcast, we're going to be looking at three things today. One being the top 5 social media questions that marketers and small businesses want answered as it relates to their own individual social media strategies. We're going to be looking at the effectiveness of Facebook marketing. All right. And we're going to wrap it up today by discussing the most important social media platform for you as a small business, for you as a marketer, for you as an entrepreneur. We're going to be looking at those three things today. So again, Iron Bank Coffee tomorrow, 11 a.m. Please come out and join us there in Columbus, Georgia. We're going to be streaming this event live across the internet as well, utilizing an app called Meerkat. And if you are not able to physically be in Columbus, you still can participate in Power Hour by simply logging in, watching this podcast not necessarily a podcast, but watching this Power Hour take place live across the internet. It's tied into Twitter, so you'll be able to chat with us, send us feedback. We've got some very good feedback from that as well, and I want to thank you. I want to thank each of you that have watched us via Meerkat and have connected with us via Meerkat. I want to thank you for it, and I trust that CSBJ, the Power Hour, that you're actually learning something from that. So let's dive in today. The very first thing we're going to look at is the top 5 social media questions that not only marketers but small business owners want answered. Okay, if you have a social media platform, if you have a social media strategy, it's very important for you to understand, what works, what doesn't work, and you as a business owner, you as an entrepreneur, you as a marketer should have questions in your mind. So the top 5 social media questions that people want answered, are these, and they quite honestly can be summarized in a few key words. One of those key words is tactics. Another key word is engagement. Another key word, a very important key word, is audience, tools, and measurement. So these questions that these top 5 questions that everyone wants to know, and maybe we'll do another podcast just with maybe the answers to these questions. But we just really want to run down the list of questions today. What social media? The very first one is dealing with tactics. Again, I said that all of these questions could be centered around some key words. Again, one of those key words was tactics. So under the heading of tactics, a question would be what social media platform or what social media tactic is most effective? And this by far is the number one question that people want answered. 92% want to know, hey, what tactic or which tactic works best? And there's a lot of change that takes place, across every social media platform. Quite honestly, once you figure out or feel that you have figured out and mastered Facebook, Twitter comes out with something different. When you feel that you have mastered Twitter, they'll introduce, or a new social media platform will be introduced, such as Snapchat and all these different things, Instagram, all these different platforms out there. The main question is, hey, in this flooded social media market, what tactic works best? All right. The second question that people want answered, it deals with the engagement of the particular platform. And the question is, quite honestly, is what are the best ways to engage my audience with social media? All right. So as a business owner, we have to figure out, the best way to connect with people. All right. And this remains high on the list of questions, and a lot of, once they surveyed this, over 91% said, hey, this is important to me as a marketer. This is important to me as a small business owner. Engaging with customers, quite honestly, the competition is in that. The competition is in offering, or if you are a small business, maybe you are a social media driven company, this by far will set you apart from your competition by providing a competitive advantage to connect your client with their potential customers and their own individual clients. All right. The third question that people want answered deals with measurement. And again, for those that have listened to me down through the years, that I am a big fan on this phrase being data drives decisions. Data drives decisions. I had an individual pump this into me years ago, and then quite honestly, I've never moved my needle, from him putting this information into my head that, hey, data drives decision. We make a decision that decision that we make should be based on data to back it up. All right. So with the data, the question, the number three question, the third question is, how do we measure the return on the social media marketing? How are you able to track it? How do I, as a business owner, measure the return that I'm getting from my investment into, X social media platform? All right. How do we do that? All right. 88% of small business owners, 88% of entrepreneurs wanted to know, hey, how do I measure, the return on my investment into a particular social media platform? All right. The number four question that people want answered deals with that heading again that we mentioned earlier, and that heading was audience. This is a very critical piece. How do I find my target audience with social media? So everyone has a smartphone. Everyone is on social media. Everyone is looking here or there. Everyone is utilizing some social media platform or another. One of the main questions is, how do I, as a small business, how do I, as a marketer, find my target audience with social media? Having to locate the ideal clients, having to locate the ideal customers and prospects is a large concern, for small business owners. And finally, to round out the top questions that people want answered, what are the best social media management tools? As many platforms out there, there are several tools to go along with that. Tools, for example, TweetDeck, Hootsuite. Those are two big ones that even I personally have used before. What are the best social media management tools out there? We've done previous podcasts on our own individual recommendations for that, but that rounds out the top 5 questions. What are the best social media tools that are on the market, and which one should I employ with my particular business? Now, we wanted to also look at let the data tell the story, and we want to look at the effectiveness of not just social media, but we want to look at specifically Facebook. Facebook by far is the largest and the most used social media platform out there. But let's take a look at the effectiveness of it, or how the small business owners feel that their own social media strategies, are adding up in the effective realm on Facebook marketing. Surprisingly, only 45% of those business owners feel that their marketing or their Facebook efforts are working. 45%. So not even half of the marketers or half of the small business owners or entrepreneurs feel that their Facebook efforts are working. Now that's up from last year, 2014. I believe that the same survey was given in 2014, and that number was even lower at 43%. So there has been a slight increase or uptick on the marketers and the business owners that feel that their Facebook efforts are working. Now, how do you gauge that? How do you gauge the effectiveness of your Facebook marketing? We really need to take a look at that. You really need to run numbers. You need to look at the Facebook insights. You need to find out, hey, when I make a post, utilizing my Facebook platform, how many views, how many times was it seen, how many likes did I generate from that, and more importantly, what business came my way as a direct result of this post? What business came my way as a direct result of this social media interaction? All right, so the effectiveness of Facebook, is still, quite honestly, the majority of people don't even feel that their Facebook marketing strategy is even working. All right, so a huge room for improvement there. Tomorrow at Power Hour, we're going to be discussing this in even more detail as to what we can do to be even more effective utilizing specifically Facebook. Now, Facebook has changed. They've changed down through the years. Of course, they've incorporated the business page aspect of it, and everyone has one, and that's fine. But more importantly, Facebook has gotten a lot of. They're growing, all right, and they're not in the business of just providing a free service. their services now are paid services. All right. So what can you do?